Funny.
She was placed in the Cox Plate, of course, and they're all set to go, and they're racing in the first event on Oaks Day. And one of the first horses to jump away from the gates was Bira Wira from Jet Power as they loom up to the first. Vespa Magic driving through nearer the inside. They come up to the first of 13, and they're all over it safely. One of the greys, Mandeville, going towards the front from Vespa Magic, and the mare out wider, and that's Valdemond. They were followed by Bira Wira getting to fourth. Over on the inside next was Oyster Grey, one of two greys in the race. Sir Thor's getting back in the field, and wide out on the track was Bronze Vara. Flying Pan getting well back. And last of all in the early stages of the race was Fair Lane. They come down to the third hurdle, and Mandeville's raced out about 4 lengths in front. Gets over the next one, clear of Valdemond. Then came Vespa Magic on the inside of Jet Power, Bira Wira. Bronze Vara's out 4 deep, and they were followed by Iron Leader tucked away on the inside for Jamie Evans. Then Century Magic, and they were followed by Night Escapades out wider. Sir Thor was next, and they were followed by We Are the World, Oyster Grey, and Fair Lane was back at the tail with Night Escapades. They come down to the next one. Mandeville gets over at 2.5 lengths clear. Jet Power jumped it awkwardly. Mandeville in front out of the straight from Valdemond second. 3/4 of a length to Bronze Vara, followed by Bira Wira. Then Night Escapades going up to 5th from Jet Power, Century Magic. We Are the World's 4 deep. Over on the inside, Vespa Magic, and a half length away, Iron Leader from Oyster Grey, Sir Thor. Fair Lane second last, and Flying Pan last of all. 2,000 metres left to go, and Mandeville leads along the Maribyrnong side of the track. Mandeville in front by 2 lengths. Second, Valdemond, 2.5 lengths away, Bronze Vara third, or the leader jumped it awkwardly. Night Escapades to fourth, a half length to Bira Wira, then came Jet Power. 1.5 to Century Magic, the favourite, then came Vespa Magic. Iron Leader making a run, Sir Thor sticking to the inside. We Are the World's been 4 wide from the start, then Oyster Grey, Flying Pan, and last of all was Fair Lane, about 8 to 10 lengths off the lead. Mandeville's not jumping well, and Valdemond sprinted past it. 1,600 metres to go as they pass the halfway point. Valdemond, the mare, in front from Tasmania. By 2 lengths to Night Escapades closing. 2.5 to Mandeville under some pressure. Then Bronze Vara the inside, followed by Bira Wira and Jet Power. Iron Leader sneaking closer. Century Magic was out wider, followed by We Are the World and Sir Thor. 2 lengths to Fair Lane, Flying Pan. Oyster Grey was over on the inside, and 2 lengths away last of all was Vespa Magic, the outsider. Valdemond at the 1,200, led by 2 lengths to Night Escapades. They're 4 or 5 lengths clear now of Jet Power, followed by Bira Wira on the inside, making some ground. Century Magic out wider, running on now with Iron Leader, and they were followed by Bronze Vara, Mandeville. Sir Thor was next. Fair Lane out wider. Well back was Flying Pan as they get over the next one. Oyster Grey over on the fence, and then We Are the World, and 20 lengths away than a Vespa Magic. 700 metres left to go. Valdemond by 1.25 Night Escapades. 2 lengths away, Century Magic and Jet Power. Then Bira Wira, Iron Leader. They're starting to close on these leaders. 3 lengths away, Fair Lane under the whip from We Are the World, and then Sir Thor. Bronze Vara well back with Oyster Grey, Flying Pan, Mandeville, and tailed right off Vespa Magic. Around the turn, 550 metres to go, it's Valdemond. Valdemond straight and about 2.5 lengths clear. Century Magic gets to second, then came Iron Leader starting to run on strongly now. Bira Wira over on the inside as they run to the second last one. Valdemond, the mare, gets over at 2.5 lengths clear. Iron Leader and Century Magic closing, and Oyster Grey from a long way back. Iron Leader and Jamie Evans loom up on the outside of Valdemond. They've one to get over. They draw to it. Iron Leader's down. The leader's gone down, and there's another one that almost lost the rider. Valdemond's in front. Century Magic's diving at it. Valdemond a length in front of Century Magic and Oyster Grey. The mare's hanging on though, and Valdemond wins. Valdemond by a head to Century Magic. Oyster Grey third. Fair Lane was fourth. Then came Bira Wira, Flying Pan. Next in Sir Thor, Bronze Vara. Night Escapades. Well back in the field was Jet Power, We Are the World, Mandeville. And back of the tail was Century Magic. And I'm pretty sure Iron Leader was going to win that race, and he's crashed at the last fence.
I think so, Dan. And Jamie Evans, I think he's been winded. Oh, he might have hurt his leg because he had a really bad fall at Sandown over 12 months ago. But he's up on his feet. He's pretty tough.
It's $30 and $4.80. Century Magic $1.70. Oyster Grey $4.10. The Quinella $42.20. The Trifecta $1,476.30 on 5, 8 and 11 race 1.
Well, there's
in Victoria to 3 perfect draws showing 10.20. Diamond Base is $11.60. 5 is out. Valdegrace $8.70. Mexican Rose $7. Miss Muncher $6.70 with Grant Cooksley aboard now. Number 9 on Valera is at about $8.90. Tacoma Girl $18. Beaver Call $33. Little Alley 12. Party Dancer 10. I1 22. Southeastern Stars $16.40. Allure 34 with Spirit 12. Astro Franco $214. Let's have a look at the feature event today, which is the VRC Oaks at $250, Burst $12, Slight Chance $13, Azuro $8, Love Comes to Town $170, Yodelay 26, Kingston Spirit 18, Tempest Command 25, Goog Stream 37, Mahaya 13. Number 10 is Bubble Over 61, $60 for Queen's Choice, 44 for Get Playing, 177 for Racing Ruler, and $33 for Strike High right down the bottom in the feature event, the VRC Oaks. And it's good to see sunshine at Flemington today, Pete.
I'll tell you what, it's good down here, Dan. You don't have to worry about it up there in the commentary box. You've been nice and dry for 2 days, but it is beautiful down here. And we've got blue sky over to the west.
Me va, me va, me va, me va, me va. Me va la vida, me va la gente de aquí y de allá. Me va la fiesta, la madrugada, me va el cantar. Me va el color, si es natural. Me va, me va, me va, me va, me va. Hacer amigos, andar caminos, me va, me va. Soñar contigo y haber nacido para cantar. Me va el amor de verdad.
Dawn breaks in Ballarat, and while most of us are fast asleep, Victoria's top female jockey is hard at work, putting her mounts through their paces in early track work. It's the same routine 6 days a week, rain, hail or shine, and it's only the sheer dedication of this young champion that keeps her going when most would stay in bed.
It's a struggle. You just have to make yourself get out of bed, I think.
Like a well-bred racehorse, Therese has racing in her blood. Her father, Paddy, is a well-known trainer, and her 10 brothers and sisters all involved with the track in one way or another.
T-Pain riding hard. Briss won't quite get Flying Eskimo. They hit it. I think Flying Eskimo's one of the nose for Therese.
Teresa's favourite win came on the back of Paddy's horse Flying Eskimo at the Bendigo Cup, and now she has dreams of victory in her hometown.
I'd love to win the Ballarat Cup. Out here would be a great thrill. But I think the Melbourne Cup sort of, it'd be just a dream. It's sort of too far. Everyone sort of wants to do it.
The competition is intense, especially for women who Therese says still struggle for recognition from the larger stables.
If a girl gets in a big stable and she can ride well, she'll do really well, and she may be able to be up in the top jockeys list, but unless she's got a good stable behind her, she probably, it's too hard.
But being female hasn't deterred this woman of the turf, who recently won the biggest race of her career, the 1,000 Guineas. She's beaten the best and has no regrets.
If you had your time again, would you do it all over again?
Yes, I would.
It really is your love?
Yes, I do like it. Yeah, I'd much rather be out doing something like this than working inside.
Number 2, the lights on, and away they go. Now, Miss Munch has missed the start 2 lengths. Diamond Base is a little bit slow to begin, and one of the first to bounce out was Party Dancer from I1 and then on Valera. Going up to 4th, Southeastern Star from Astro Franco, and then Little Ellie and Beaver Call drives up on the inside. Perfect Draw midfield. followed by Velda Grace, and going around them Tacoma Girl 3 deep from With Spirit. Well back in the field when they'd settled down now was Mexican Rose, and they were followed by Diamond Bases Allure, and Miss Muncher was last of all. Party Dancer, the pacemaker, leads a length to One Balera. They have 900 to go. 2.5 lengths away third was Beaver Call, getting a lovely run. Got up on the inside of I1, and then came Southeastern Star, Astro Franco. Perfect Draw was next, Tacoma Girl wide from Little Ellie, and then Velda Grace With Spirit. Allure around them from Diamond Bases as they made the turn. Mexican Rose and Miss Muncher last. 5.50 to go. Party Dancer in front, a length to One Balera. Going up third was I1, and then came Beaver Called. Southeastern Star hooked out. Perfect Draw getting a lovely run through, and they were followed by Tacoma Girl, Astro Franco, and now Velda Grace coming into the race from With Spirit. 300 metres left to go. Southeastern Star and Velda Grace are chasing Party Dancer. Here's Astro Franco, the boulder running on, and Beaver Call needing a run. Party Dancer in front. Astro Franco on the outsides charging at it. Astro Franco 100 to 1 pop moved up on the outside of Party Dancer. 50 to go. Astro Franco took the lead from Party Dancer. Southeastern Star and I1 and Astro Franco. The bolter wins a half a length to Party Dancer. Tight for third between I1 and close up in the centre, Southeastern Star. Then Little Alley followed in by Mexican Rose, Perfect Draw, Beaver Called, Velda Grace didn't go on with it. Then Tacoma Girl, Miss Muncher With Spirit on Balera. Well back Diamond Bases and Allure back of the tail. Well, there's one for the books. $151 for the win. This horse is showing. Astro Franco right down the bottom. $33 the place. 13 Party Dancer, $2.90, and there will be a photo finish for third to determine that particular place. Get it between Southeastern Star and I1.
Welcome back, everyone, to an absolutely beautiful day now at Flemington. The roses are out, the ladies are looking great, and we've got a turn up and a half in the second. And waiting for correct weight from Mr. Lawler for Astro Franco and the place getters. There it is. Astro Franco came from absolutely nowhere at $151, I think it's paid roughly. But, wow, that's extraordinary, isn't it? That means as we take a shot of the ladies really enjoying the sunshine now here at Flemington, it's just a beautiful day. And as they enjoy the champagne, anyone who's been on this horse will enjoy this. Here's the local divvies right around the country.
Astro Franco, $151 and $33. $2.90 for Party Dancer, $5.70 I1. Quinella, $714.60. Trifecta, $30,211 and 10 cents on 18, 13 and 14.
That's the Bexby Stakes, and the starting time is 1:30 as we take a look around this glorious scene here at Flemington. And it really is magnificent. And before we do that, we'll check the tote call on race number 3.
Miss Prospect, $3.50. Overshadow, $13. Hula Song, $16. Sandpiper, $15. Sarah's Melody, $10.60. Capaholic, $55. Lady Jaco, $12.90. Primitive Passion, $9.70. Princess Caliga, $62. Princess Shauna, $24. Rancher's Jewelers out. Stormy Dawn, $13.30. Tatanique, $33. Cimaresque, $51. Hatters Castle, $19. Imitation of Life with a one-eyed blinker today, $7.10. Lady Musketeer, $34.90, number 18. A field of 16 to go around. The two scratchings are 3 and 12. Pete?
Well, Daniel, this huge crowd here, we had 55,000 here last year, and I think it's going to be fairly close to that. And a lot of people have been, well, just waiting for this day to come. Crackers Keenan.
Well, they arrive here in all sorts of different ways, and many of them in great style, and that's really what this day is all about. Oaks Day for 1992, and it's a beautiful day. So, obviously, the great God of the weather likes the ladies much better than he likes us fellas on Saturday and Tuesday. We had to put up with some rain those 2 days.
Lacrosse and Castletown. Sub-Zero clear. Vienne Lacrosse won't get him. And the Melbourne Cup of 1992 belongs to Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero wins by 2 to Vienne Lacrosse and Castletown third. A break in the field and next to United Star for a great cover.
It's always a great scene up there in the members when you know who the winner is, absolutely, because they're out of their seat and cheering wildly, and that was the case again. Great win to Sub-Zero in the 1992 Melbourne Cup. Well, this...
To go in the Beck's Beer Stakes, and they're off and running. And coming out slowly was Capaholic and almost knocked Stormy Dawn over. Imitation of Life is going very fast, and she's going to lead after 100 metres from Miss Prospect, and then Sarah's Melody, followed by Cimaresque. Up there as well was Lady Musketeer, Stormy Dawn, Princess Shauna was next. They were followed by Princess Kaliga getting back in the field. Wider out was Overshadow, and they were followed behind them by Hatters Castle getting well back, and then came Sandpiper. Tatanique was behind horses, and well back Primitive Passion and Capaholic. About 400 metres to go. Imitation of Life under a little bit of pressure. Princess Shauna grabbed it, and they were followed by Stormy Dawn. And look at Lady Jaco run on. Miss Prospect needs a run, a couple of lengths, then a Hula Song, Cimaresque, and then Lady Musketeer. 250 metres to go. Princess Shauna down on the inside, a half a length in front of Lady Jaco, the first two starters. A length away third was Miss Prospect, and they've got it between them. Princess Shauna kicking back on the inside, a neck in front. Lady Jaco wearing it down. Princess Shauna, Lady Jaco the outside doing better, and Lady Jaco. Lady Jaco got up the beat Princess Shauna, 2 lengths to Miss Prospect. Then came Hula Song, followed in by Tatanique, Cimaresque, and then Lady Musketeer, Sarah's Melody. Well back in the field, Stormy Dawn, Hatters Castle, Sandpiper, Primitive Passion, Imitation of Life, Overshadow. Then Capaholic, and Princess Kaliga was back at the tail. Winner of the third event, the Beck's Beer Stakes, will be the first starter, Lady Jaco, ridden by Greg Hall. That man again, 12.90 and 4.10. 6.30 for Princess Shauna and $1.80 for Miss Prospect. Gee, she found plenty because the other horse kicked back, Gary, at about the 200, but Lady Jaco, she's obviously a very nice horse.
Yes, very good horse, and I noticed Ron and Mrs. Cook own it from the Hawthorn Football Club. Also, I see it's out of a very good filly, Food for Love, this horse, and Food for Love ran second in the Golden Slipper a few years back. Here's a replay. You can see these two get right away. It looked like Princess Shauna was going to hold Lady Jaco here, but Greg Hall, as I said on Tuesday, he's most probably got the best balance riding a horse out of most of the jockeys around, and he's certainly got the best out of this horse. Very strong rider. Horse has run very true for him.
And Miss Prospect wasn't a bad run either. Her performance was quite good, but a lovely type of filly, Lady Jaco, by Last Tycoon, as you said, out of a very good mare. Golden Slipper plays Food for Love. And John Sadler, he had a lean trot for a while, but it's great to see him back in the winner's stall. He's a terrific bloke. 10 and 4.10 for the winner, $5.90 for second, $1.80 for third. Quinella, $142.90. And the trifecta on race 3, $1,931.30 on 8, 11 and 1. Race number 5, the VRC Oaks, in the fourth event coming up, $11 He's Classic, $6.60 Sheer Extravagance, $8.90 War Danger, $4.90 Scalero, $8.30 Silver Bow. Down to Big Jamaica, the filly at $5.90. Over the Page, Pushy Dancer, 18, Restitution, 8, and 21 Sovereign Dan, 35 Physical Ass, Tantanay, 29, and down the bottom, King Credence, 117, and Isle of Ends at $45, $81,000 in the place win pool.
Good on you, Dan. I know your binoculars will be scanning around the track, looking not only for the ladies, but also for the winners. And speaking of winners, here's Crackers Keenan in Trelawney.
Cambridge is the heart of the racing centre of New Zealand. Trelawney Stud is the arteries that pump the veins of Cambridge and the Melbourne Cup. No single place has contributed more to the Cup than Trelawney. This showpiece 172-hectare property backs onto the magnificent Waikato River. Despite its remarkable history of conceiving 7 Melbourne Cup winners on the property, Trelawney will be auctioned only days after the 1992 Melbourne Cup. Jim Otway has managed the stud all his life, and the uncertainty of his and the stud's future is frustrating.
It's very sad for myself and my family, being born and bred here, you might say, not to have one's future assured. And I just sincerely hope that somebody some person buys this as a going concern and continues on with the great bloodstock history that has been gone here beforehand.
Trelawney Stud has virtually made the Melbourne Cup its own. It has produced no less than 7 Cup winners. And one of the greatest racehorses of all time, the mighty Tulloch, was born and bred right here and raised in these very paddocks. Tulloch won the 1957 Caulfield Cup as the shortest priced favourite in the race's history. He added 3 derbies in different states, plus a host of major races before a mystery illness, which nearly ended his life as tragically as Phar Lap kept him sidelined for 2 years. When the champion returned, he had lost none of his brilliance, winning the 1960 Cox Plate and McKinnon Stakes and the 1961 Brisbane Cup. Tulloch was without doubt the best horse ever to come from Trelawney Stud, and arguably in Australasia.
So I foaled Tulloch. McDougall was a foster foal when he was born here.
McDougall, who won the Cup in 1959, is one of 7 horses Trelawney Stud have bred to win the Melbourne Cup.
We mentioned the Melbourne Cup winners that have come through this place, particularly in a 15 to 20 year period. It's quite staggering, really.
Yes, well, we start with Hyraji, Fox Army, McDougall, Polo Prince, Hijinks, Galilee and Silver Knight. I suppose probably the most brilliant of those was Galilee. He produced an electrifying burst to win the Melbourne Cup.
Galilee was trained by Bart Cummings, and the master trainer and 9 times Cup winner declared Galilee the best horse he has prepared.
Good for the mare, and Galilee went on to win the Cup by 2 lengths from Light Fingers.
Trelawney's amazing Melbourne Cup success was attributed to the stud's champion sires Alchimedes and Foxbridge, who were buried on the property only metres away from the stable of the new sire, Success Express.
We won't see another Trelawney-bred Melbourne Cup runner?
Oh, I wouldn't say that, but at the moment we don't seem to have a horse that has the likelihood of running in the Melbourne Cup in this year, perhaps. There's a nice horse we bred called Sal Cante by Palace Music out of Petronia, half-brother to Drought. I think he's probably the horse that one perhaps might look for the next Trelawney-bred horse to win the Melbourne Cup.
Trelawney is a real landmark, but 3/4 of a century's racing history could vanish after it goes up for auction later this week.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful place, very much like Ireland, those places in New Zealand. And as you just saw there, the horses just absolutely love being in there. If they love being there, that's why they win. Now, those of you in the know in racing would know that...
Oaks Day. Champagne, roses, fashionable hats and fashion parades on the Flemington lawns. Oaks Day. Racing's tribute to the most precious 3-year-old fillies in the land as they face their ultimate test over the very unladylike, gruelling 2,500-metre course. 2 of this race's champions, Evening Peel in 1955 and perhaps the gamest of them all, Light Fingers in 1964, both backed up the following year to land the greatest prize of all, the Melbourne Cup. Cup's king Bart Cummings is no slouch on Ladies' Day either. The magnificently gifted horse trainer has won no less than 4 VRC Oaks, beginning with Light Fingers and saluting again just last year when Richfield Lady bounded away with the prize. There is much to admire about this day. This race when Flemington swims and sings in a sea of bubbly emotion.
Bubbly emotion indeed. It's just a beautiful day this day. It's one of the best days in sport around Australia, I think, Oaks Day at Flemington. Now, Kerry-Ann Kennelly is back in our marquee, I think, and she's got the boys from the 10 Eyewitness News here in Melbourne.
You are so right, Tim. Thank you very much. Steve, good morning or good afternoon. What is ever is closer?
Great day, isn't it?
It's a fabulous day. I mean, this has got to be one of the best Oaks days for a while, would you
Oh,
say?
definitely. Oaks Day is always my favourite day. And, I wonder why. And no, the weather's great and everyone's come out dressed. It's great.
Oh, I'm glad we didn't come out naked. Thank you very much. What if, you never know
Dressed
at the
to
end
kill.
of the day...
Dressed to kill, I should say.
Dressed to kill?
The Oaks, are we after a tip?
Yes.
Well, everyone wants Love Comes to Town, but I'll go for Kingston Spirit just to be different. Got a soft spot for the Haynes family and Bart Cummings trains, so maybe it might cause an upset.
Oh, good. Okay. Dressed to Kill?
No.
Is that what you... No,
Kingston Spirit.
Kingston Spirit, sorry.
Yeah, Kingston Spirit.
Losing the track she is. And very good afternoon. What is your tip, sir?
Well, Kerry, and I think we might go for a little bit of slight chance, although Azura and the 1,000 Guineas did very well. But Love Comes to Town, Kathy Haynes' horse, we've got to stick on that. She had a big party on Sunday night, and I've still got a headache from it, so we've got to stick with Kathy Haynes to pay the grog bill, I think.
Oh, very good. Adam Digby.
Kerry Ann.
What tip?
Well, having a chat with Peter Donegan, I'll be going for an each-way bet on slight chance, number 2.
Okay, well, there you have it from the Channel 10 marquee, Tim. Of course, they will be the absolute winners. We're assured of this. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Kerry Ann. Thank you, guys. Well, Peter Donegan's a pretty good boy to follow, let me tell you. As Adam just said, he did it on Cup Day with the trifecta. We'll see what he can do in the Oaks, but we've got one to go before that, Pete.
Yes, Tim, the Hardy Brothers Jewellers Stakes, and good to see Messrs Quartermain, Maguire and Digby in the Channel 10 tent there, and especially good, as Stephen said, to hear that people have come out dressed this afternoon. 1,800 metres for race 4, as I said, an unusual distance, and they'll start the turn about 400 metres after the start. Scratchings here 5, 8, 10, 14, 15 and 17, 6 out, leaving a field of 14 to run, so they should be able to get a posse. And as Dr. Turf joins me, before the start of race 4, you were tipping Sheer Extravagance before, Docky. Any reason to change your mind?
No, he looks very well, Pete, but I don't think he's tremendous value, really, at the price on offer, both in the ring and also on the tote board. I still think he's going to be hard to beat, but value-wise, well, he's probably just might halve my bet myself. Number 12, Restitution. Nice, big, strong chestnut, this bloke. I think he represents good each-way value as well, Pete. The big track's certainly going to suit him, and I'm expecting a much better run from him today. 2 and 12, they seem to be my 2, and Scalero actually has held his condition very well and is probably sneaking out to a bit of value in on the tote now, Pete.
Yeah, well, he's the one I've gone for at good odds in the race. Scalero, number 4 in the 4th race. Well, let's have a look at them as we look.
Cantonay was a nice one on Saturday, and it's showing him at around the 20 to 1 quote. For the 4th event as they come onto the track, Pete.
And as they do.
Stalls and they're all set to go for race 4, the Hardy Brothers Jewellers Stakes over 1,800 metres. Lights on.
Hang on.
And they're racing. Caught them reasonably. Restitution, Scalero, King Credence and Ida Venz are out the back early. One of the first out was Big Jamaica. She looks for the lead from Silver Bow and Tantanay. Physical Ass out very wide, followed by Pushy Dancer, and close up in the field too was Standard Issue from He's Classic and Sheer Extravagance. War Danger was midfield there. Sheer Extravagance lost ground sharply. Restitution went around it. 2 lengths to Sovereign Dan, then came Isle of Venz. Scalero was second last, and King Credence last of all, about 10 lengths off the lead. 1,300 metres to go. Physical Ass in front, but here's Restitution. Going around the field, he whips up to take up the running and lead by 2 lengths, so the pace is on again at the 1,200. Physical Ass second. War Danger goes up on the outside. Silver Bow to 4th, and then Big Jamaica Tantanay. A half length away Standard Issue. 2 lengths to Pushy Dancer. Over on the inside next was He's Classic and Scalero going around them out 3 wide. Isle of Venz, Sovereign Dan back towards the tail. Sheer Extravagance has got about 5 behind it, and King Credence was last of all, still 10 lengths off the lead. 800 metres to go. Restitution a half a length to War Danger. A length away Tantanay third from Silver Bow. Over on the inside as they run to the home turn was Big Jamaica, then Standard Issue, He's Classic and Scalero starting to run on. Sovereign Dan coming into the race as they made the home turn, and well back in the field as they're about to straighten up was Isle of Venz and King Credence. 500 metres left to go. Restitution a length in front of War Danger. Scalero out wider from Tantanay. Just in behind those was Big Jamaica looking for the way clear. Silver Bow's back behind them and struggling, and then He's Classic and Sovereign Dan's running on very strongly. 300 to go. War Danger goes to the front. Coming at it down the outside was Sovereign Dan and Scalero into the clear, and further out was Pushy Dancer, the mare. Running down to the 250 metre point. War Danger in front, cutting it down on the outside very quickly. Pushy Dancer. Pushy Dancer goes up on the outside of War Danger. Restitution fights back. Pushy Dancer in front. Pushy Dancer 1.5 a length to Restitution. A photo for third. 3-way go. War Danger on the inside. Scalero the centre, and Sovereign Dan out wide, and then Sheer Extravagance. Big Jamaica close up from He's Classic, and then Isle of Venz, Standard Issue, Physical Ass. Well back Silver Bow, followed by King Credence, and Tantanay was back towards the rear. Might be a few hard luck stories in that, Gary Willits. There was quite a few horses with a bit of bad luck there. Pushy Dancer about 24.60 and 5.80. Restitution 290, and it's a three-way go for third. 11-12 and a photo.
It was a very strange run race, Dan, right from the